On 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Good afternoon. Welcome into the lead. Hayes Carline here with Ryan O'Halloran and JJ LaSelva. We got a game tomorrow, finally. Jaguars at Saints. And we know a lot of the stars aren't going to play, obviously, but there's still storylines galore that Ryan and I are going to break down. It's going to be a lot of fun. Boy, Scotty Scheffler surging here. 9 under.
He's at 9 now. When I left the house, he was bogeying 12 because he hit the water off the tee and sort of had to get up and down for a bogey. But I think he started day at 2.
Yeah.
So
he's 7 under.
He started with 4 birdies in the first 4 holes, 5 in the first 6 holes. And after he did hit it in the water there, he immediately responded with another birdie. So he is just en fuego. Right?
Well, he's like, he was on like the 5th hole, and the announcer goes, "Oh, we're on a 59 watch?" And the other guy goes, "Yeah, probably a little early for that."
A little early for that, yeah. But yeah, good to see Scheffler at the top of the board as he searches for that elusive second win of the season. He won in his debut this year on tour and has been looking for his second win ever since, but that hasn't stopped him from crushing everybody on the money list. So we'll see if Scotty Scheffler runs away with the playoff, because obviously he got this one next week in St. Louis and then the Tour Championship. But today's going to be a lot of Jaguars, a lot of football, obviously. Kai Stevens is going to join us at 4:35 from the Jaguars. Really, Jaguars.com's done a great job in New Orleans covering the joint practice with the Saints. Kai was out there. She got to watch the Jaguar defense primarily go up against that Saints offense. So looking forward to getting her insights from being in New Orleans. Again, that'll be in about 30 minutes from now. Mark Long is going to join us at 5:15. Probably talk more Gators with Mark. Kind of cool. John Summerall shouted him out to start his press conference this week.
I missed that part because I sort of tuned in late. But you guys had mentioned that, so it'll be interesting to see his reaction to that. And as he gets closer and closer to his triumphant return.
Yeah, well, let's see. Last week he told us he was 2 weeks out, and so we'll see. We'll see how his progress is going. But that'll be a lot of fun. And then Hacker's going to join us later in the show, about around 5:35. Hacker's got his preseason high school football power poll out. He's going to tell us about that. And he's got a show tonight previewing the high school football season from 8 to 10 o'clock. That's after Into the Night with Rick Ballou. So Hacker will join us at 5:35. We'll get some general thoughts about the upcoming high school season, teams to watch, players to watch. So we certainly appreciate Hacker joining us for that. But Ryan, let's obviously start with the Jaguars-Saints game tomorrow. Before we get to that, how do you feel like the first 2 weeks has gone? As we now arrive at the first preseason game, what do you think that they've gotten right? What are some things that you think might still be concerning?
Yeah, what they've gotten right, it's been a drama-free camp in terms of non-injuries. There hasn't been, squabbles. There hasn't been, guys getting a lot of vet days. That's only Armstead.
Right.
So it's been a drama-free camp in that regard, where the drama does come in, and I don't care if they say they're not worried. It is a red flag. They don't have enough linemen right now. And even if let's think about this today, even if at the start of camp Liam Cohen says it's my intention to play Trevor Lawrence in the first preseason game, he wouldn't be able to tomorrow. He doesn't have enough guys up front to protect him. So they had a plan. Hey, let's give Wyatt Malum a shot at right guard while Makari, they keep him on ice to maybe eventually take over at some point this season. That's done because they got Malum at right tackle. What's Walker Little's status? Who knows? Has Van Lanen had a setback? Who knows? And those are questions that need to be asked sooner or later. I gave it a shot on Wednesday. Hit a brick wall, but that means I won't stop asking.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing that Liam isn't playing Trevor Lawrence. We saw there were 6 games last night. I don't know why Cincinnati would put Joe Burrow out there. What's to be gained? Like, if you're Joe Burrow today, like, what did you gain from playing last night? And it wasn't for very long.
5 of 6, got sacked.
I mean, he was fine. 5 of 6 for 39 yards, hit Jamar Chase. I mean, that's another. Why would you play Jamar Chase? But he did get sacked. He got another pretty good hit on a play in which he got the ball off. We saw the Packers play Jordan Love for a series last night. He was 3 of 5 for 18 yards. But what are these guys thinking?
Yeah.
I mean, it's your season is over if somebody caves in that guy's knee.
5 of the 12 projected week 1 starters played last night. And we mentioned Burrow, Love, Brissett, Cousins, Cam Ward. Cam Ward was 5 of 12. I think he needs to play. That's
right.
a new offense.
I have no problem with Cam
You're playing
Ward.
on grass.
Yeah.
Cousins.
I have no problem with Kirk Cousins.
He knows how to protect himself.
Right.
But
and if he blows out his knee, well, you just go to the number 1 pick in the draft right out of the gate.
And with Burrow
and Brissett, I mean, Brissett to his credit looked good, but it's Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah. I mean, the week 1 starter was not playing because of a rib injury. That's a prediction.
Yeah.
Carson Beck.
Yeah, that's who I think they should be playing. But to your point,
the Burrow thing is ridiculous because you're playing on turf. Dalton Reisner, who's a terrible guard, a total fraud, a total phony. I covered him in Denver. I didn't like him as a person or a player.
You didn't like him? Because that's not coming through.
Yeah. The people inside the building would always say, kill him. Because he's just that kind of guy.
Right.
And so he got beat on a stunt. Burrow gets sacked. I get how the Bengals want to pivot because they never played him. They started slow. Well, last year they did play him and it didn't really make a difference. So go back to what you did. And even Josh Allen's going to play probably a series tomorrow.
Right.
He's just going to hand off, throw a screen pass, then get out of there. So I don't get, everybody else here, Jordan Love, I don't think he really needs to play, but all these other guys, the thing that stood out, I got a bunch of stats we can talk about later from last night, but Arizona quarterbacks against the Las Vegas' defense went 26 of 30.
I saw that. Minshew was incredible. Minshew was what, 14 of 16?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and so only a small schedule tonight, 3 games, I think.
3 games tonight.
But, and I'll dive into some of the other numbers later. But I think for the Jaguars, it's smart to rest a bunch of your key guys. But I do think it's important that Ventrell Miller and Branson Combs play, which I think they will. Kyle addressed that. It's important to play that second wave of linemen because you don't have a third wave really right now. That second half is going to be rough on the offensive line for the Jaguars. So I think there are not a lot of jobs available for this team right now entering the preseason games, but roles are to be defined.
I wouldn't put Anton Harrison out there at all.
No.
But do you consider, just because you are down in numbers, do you consider playing Cleveland and Hainsey just for maybe 12 snaps? Just to get, because you're going to be asking some guys that basically are getting very limited work in practice to go the distance.
Yeah. 2-part on that one. No on Hainsey, because I just would start Monheim at center. Yeah. And then if he needs guard work later. If you play, I do think Ezra Cleveland and Anton Harrison need to play together a little bit in the last 2 home games, probably the Carolina game. I think that is important. That's something I talked to Ezra about for something in tomorrow's paper, that over communication right now. So that's a valid point. I think, if they, by all accounts, they went pretty significantly hard yesterday in the heat and humidity. Now you bring them back after 3-4 days off and get them ready to play against Carolina a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Liam Cohen and his staff go about it because, you've got some guys here along that offensive line that, buckle up, man. You're in for a long night because, they only have so many guys. So if you're going to sit, basically you're starting 5. If Pregnon and Little can't go,
which they won't,
then now you're down 7 guys.
Yeah, you got to get something out of Udoga, who I think practiced yesterday at right tackle. But then you're looking at Christian, just got here. He's a veteran. He'll be able to know how to handle himself in that second half. Mustafa, same thing. You put him at center, have him play the entire second half. So I think that's sort of the method there. Carvin, Zaire, Ricky Lee, this is your life.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot of tape this tomorrow. So take advantage of it for the Jacksonville kid.
Yeah. And again, I would you, if the offensive line hadn't had any injuries, you made a good point. If Liam wanted to play Trevor, he probably has been forced not to because of the attrition along the offensive front. If everybody was healthy, would you have played Trevor?
I think the plan was to wait for Carolina because I thought the methods for joint practices all 3 weekends were that Liam Cohen could either not play his main guys at all or be very selective. To me, you always play them on your home field and just say, hey, break a sweat for a couple series and then get ready for Cleveland.
Yeah, great points. When we come back on the lead, we're going to stay on the Jaguars. Let's talk about this rookie draft class, what we expect to see out of them tomorrow. Let's talk about that will linebacker battle between Miller and Combs. We'll talk about the edge depth. I want to ask you about Tavia, the linebacker, because I have a sense he's been here long enough now that he might get extensive action. And want to ask you about Caleb Bransaw and Jalen Husky at the kind of backup safety. I think we'll see a lot of them as well. So lots to get to coming up. Jaguar-wise, you're listening to The Lead on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is The Lead from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
1010XL, where there's plenty of sunshine to go around. We love Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Chevrolet is Northeast Florida's truck headquarters. And this month, save more than $15,000 on a new Silverado at Nimnik Chevrolet. 0% financing for 60 months is also available. And no payments for 90 days. With the largest selection of new Chevrolets in the region and the Nimnik best price guarantee, why would you buy anywhere else? Visit nimnikchevy.com or head to the dealership. Great inventory, great prices, and low interest rates. Who really takes care of you? Nobody but Nimnik. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
At Beard's Diamonds, diamonds are what we do best. But did you know Beard's is also Jacksonville's source for the latest fashion jewelry for every occasion? Exquisite designer pieces, all new creations, the latest trends.
We've seen yellow gold be very, very popular right now. So the very dainty is in right now as far as little huggy earrings.
Ben Lupo and his father John are also seeing a big increase in demand for colored stones.
Colored stones are extremely popular right now. People like something different.
Sapphire, ruby, and emerald, which we have a great selection of in the store, whether it be pendants, necklaces, earrings.
So if you're looking for an anniversary gift, a push present, or a just because gift, don't go to one of those corporate chain jewelers. Get more selection, higher quality, and better value at Beard's.
When you walk in the door at Beard's, you are paying less for a higher quality item, and it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee.
And don't forget, Beard's now has an incredible selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches, all the hard-to-find models. Beard's Diamonds, Jacksonville's locally owned jeweler for over 4 decades, in the St. John's Town Center.
Storm season is here, and at JEA, we're on it. We work year-round to strengthen our electric, water, and sewer systems, making them more storm-resistant. Trees are trimmed around power lines to help reduce outages caused by falling debris. Plus, our online outage map and the My JEA app make it easier than ever to report and monitor outages. So no matter what this storm season brings, we're ready to respond, restore, and keep you informed every step of the way. Learn more and see how you can prepare at JEA.com.
Get geared up for your golf weekend with Dan, Jeff, and PGA Pros on Brunch with the Tour.
Expect anything different?
Tuesday morning at 8:30. Teed up by North Florida Medical Centers and Clearwater Irrigation on 1010XL.
UFC Fight Night is back, and the only place to catch every punch, kick, and every knockout full-on sports lodge glory is Twin Peaks. E.T. here. Settle in with scratch-made favorites, legendary wings, and 29-degree beers that hits colder than heavyweight takedowns. With wall-to-wall TVs, you won't miss a single moment of action. Grab your crew and make it a fight night to remember. Twin Peaks. Eat, drinks, scenic views.
What NFL team has the worst winning percentage in NFL history? The answer next.
For over 20 years, Southern Oak Insurance has given Floridians a better alternative to their current homeowner's policy. See what you can get with Southern Oak. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the lowest all-time winning percentage of .410.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball now offers web stores, so your employees can order their own branded gear, and you have more time for Wordle. Check it out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Royal Pest Services, a local company you can trust. Royal Pest is a certified installer of tap insulation, which stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Reduce that electric bill by adding pest protection. It's that easy. Online at royalpestservices.com.
It's about to get real. Training camp is on. Listen to 1010XL throughout the day for all the details and analysis of the passes, runs, and defensive performances. 1010XL's coverage of training camp is brought to you by Green Acres Sporting Goods.
We've all seen great overtime games and thrilling finishes, but when it comes to having a big time, knowing when to say when is key. Budweiser reminds you to win the day and night by designating a driver. That's a victory every time.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Welcome back to The Lead on 1010XL 92.5 FM. We've got Ryan O'Halloran. We've got JJ LaSelva. I am Hayes Carline. All right, Ryan, we've got lots to get to on the Jaguar front. By the way, in about 30 minutes, we're going to take your calls, your texts. You can call us at 641-1010. You can text us, Designed by Lifetime Enclosures, at 641-1010. So 30 minutes from now, we just want to know, what do you want to see tomorrow for the Jaguars going against the Saints? But you can ask us anything or comment, whatever you want to do, and we'll react to it. So let's finish up the offensive line conversation. So tomorrow, what would you guess the starting offensive line looks like at 4 o'clock against the Saints?
Milam at right tackle, Monheim at center, Edoga at left tackle.
Okay.
Who's left?
We're assuming Pregnon's out. So at guard, is it?
Is it? That's the problem. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I should know, but
it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to figure out. That's why I'm wondering, can you rest everybody that you'd want to rest?
I think they still are, because they just have raised the white flag on this game.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see. Do you start Monheim at right guard so that Mustafa can play center?
See, that could be something. Do you start Jaron Christian at one of the tackle spots? Because you at least know, as a veteran, he'll know how to hold,
right,
and get in the way of guys.
And then that leaves you. Milam can go back inside.
Yeah, and Edoga can play outside.
Yeah.
So it's not great, Bob.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Hopefully on the next edition of The Hunt, they'll break down the staff meeting in terms of coming up with who's going to actually be starting along the offensive line for this game.
The magnets.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah.
But, last year at this time, and Liam made it at least he thought it was an amusing talking point throughout the offseason. Well, you guys were so worried about that. Well, that was by choice.
Right.
Now it's by necessity. So there has to be a different level of urgency. There's still a month until the opener, but by the time you get done with Tampa Bay, you got that bonus week there. You want to be able to fine tune, put in the game plan. And that means if Van Lannen's the guy, you want him out there by then, but they got a couple weeks on that till cut down day. They don't have to really make a decision on Van Lannen.
What about Will linebacker tomorrow? Do you think Ventrell Miller and Branson Combs both play, and how would you break up that workload if you're Campanile?
Yeah, I think they both will play, and they should play, because that's the only real competition. Running back's a competition, but that'll sort itself out. Both guys will play. Linebacker's different. To me, the subplot with Miller and Combs I think they start the game together. They have to start getting a backup middle linebacker ready, because Kaiser's showing no signs of coming back anytime soon. So you saw that in practice this a couple of days ago, 50 and 51, Miller and Combs out there together at the same time. And I think you're shooting two birds with one stone there. You're getting both of them time to see how they react to different things.
What about Tavia? He obviously was with the Patriots last year all the way through the Super Bowl. They just signed him about a week ago. I would think he's been here long enough to at least give them 20 snaps. What do you think?
I think at least that. And if you're him and you start camp without a team, you're not going to sign somewhere where you think you're on the bubble. I think this is a guy who's going to make the team. He's outside of Luke, and he's your most experienced guy in the linebacker spot right now. His arrival is bad news for Kaiser. I do see Tave playing middle linebacker tomorrow, and he may be ready to go in that second half, because McLeod's been in and out. Let me flip my sheet here. Aluakun won't play. Gardeck won't play. You got the new guy, Bernie, the former Florida kid. Then after that, Parker.
Is Bernie, did he get here too soon to play tomorrow?
I think you could probably coach him up on some base down stuff and say just see ball, hit the ball carrier.
Put him out there for like the last 6 minutes of the game,
yeah,
maybe kind of thing.
Parker Hughes, I mean, he may lead the team in snaps tomorrow on defense. So, somebody else's injury is somebody else's opportunity, and that's what these young guys got to realize.
Let's talk about the defensive front. Much was made of Ruke Ororo being listed as third-team defensive tackle. What did you take out of that?
I was surprised it was a thing.
Yeah.
Because the days that Eric Armstead did not practice, Matt Dickerson was your starter, just like at the end of last year. So they re-signed Matt Dickerson with the point of being he is going to be a good run stopper. And if Armstead is sometimes limited to pass rush, then that will be the rotation. They like Dickerson, and they should like Matt. He had a good coming out of nowhere season last year. So I don't get, just because a guy's a second-round pick and was traded for a second-round pick doesn't mean he should be on the second line of the depth chart. I don't even know if I'd have him on the team right now. When I asked Liam Cohn about Rook after the first day in pads, Liam was like, well, he would have had a couple of sacks today, but then he sort of paused. It's like, it was the first time he did anything during camp. That's how I read it.
Yeah, I would agree. And in terms of this, I think is so unique for the Jaguars, and I'm curious with your perspective, having covered, Washington and Denver, and obviously the Jaguars from 13 through or 12 through whatever that was, 17, and then the Bills. Can you remember going into the first preseason game and like literally none of the draft class is sitting because none of them are starters?
Yeah. A guy like Pat Surtain in Denver, his rookie year, he played one series, that kind of thing. But I mean, you're gonna see a lot of these rookies tomorrow because this is by design. They made these picks knowing that they wouldn't have to throw any guys into the fray. But I want to see what these guys can do because they're especially some of the day 3 guys, they're not guaranteed making this team. Hughes and Durfee is hurt. I wouldn't expect him to play, but you're right. And like in Buffalo, Max Hairston was a first-round pick last year. He was hurt in camp. Cole Bishop has been hurt every camp up there. And in Denver, they played Surtain, they played Drew Lock at quarterback. So, and then when we were here the first time with the Times Union, they played
everybody. Yeah.
So it's like, you're a starter.
Right.
I was just drafted. We don't care.
In the 6th round, doesn't matter. It's really unique, and I think exciting. In terms of like, I'm assuming Borkircher will at least give 10 to 15 snaps tomorrow, probably. I would think.
I want to see him for a whole half.
Okay.
Because, run game, this should be his ballywick.
Right.
Put somebody on the ground. And also, the tight ends have not done much in this camp as a receiving group.
Yeah.
And
I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, it's like, are you saving your stuff for later?
Are we going to wake up October 1st and Brenton Strange has 5 receiving touchdowns? Because it's been literally like completely, not completely, but largely absent.
Yeah, because I was probably last week where I asked Liam Cohen, I said, I know Borkircher's not catching any passes, but on tape, is he running routes well? And he says, I've actually been really, he said, hey, he goes, the ball hasn't found him yet, but also maybe they're just being covered well. But I want to see him run a route, catch a ball or two. Same with Koziel, who had a great OTAs, but has been relatively quiet during the team periods in camp.
Yeah, and then you've got those 2 late-round receivers in Josh Cameron and C.J. Williams, and I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if the offense can be functional with the offensive line the way it is. You would think if you're Carter Bradley and Joey Aguilar, that's where you're looking. One of those 2 guys, hopefully one of them is out there in the huddle with you.
Yeah, Cameron, Williams, and then, Austin Trammell's going to have a big day tomorrow because he'll be out there a lot. The key thing for Cameron with me is I want to see him back catching punts. He has not done that when the times we've been out there. I think he should be their punt returner because that creates roster flexibility. And the same thing on kick returns. It's been, if it's going to be Allen and Tootin, well, it's not going to be Allen and Tootin tomorrow. So, Cameron has another chance here to take another step because he's checked all the boxes already.
Yeah, and It's interesting. Where do you see the running back battle? Like you said, we're not going to see Tootin. We're not going to see Rodriguez. I wouldn't. Think we'd see LaQuinn Allen, but I guess that's one in which
maybe you give him
you
the
could
start.
play him a little bit. Yeah, play him a little bit. But how do you see that battle so far going?
I mean, it's tough to say that Bayshall Tootin's not winning it just because he's been available.
Right.
I mean, they are showing patience and cautiousness. I think that's a word. With Rodriguez coming off that broken foot, but Chris, to his credit, has flashed a little bit, which is what he's supposed to do, and I guess he flashed yesterday for those people who were there. I'm gonna plant my fork in the hill and say Chris Rodriguez is the first snap against Cleveland. That doesn't mean he's going to end up with the most carries, but Chris Rodriguez is here on a 2-year contract, and this was the Liam Cohen stamped edition.
Yeah. What do you think about the edge depth? I mean, obviously, Heinz Allen and Trayvon Walker definitely not playing tomorrow.
Yeah, Strigo's had a quiet camp, at least to me.
Mm-hmm.
BJ Green has earned a lot of praise, justifiably so. Durfee.
Yeah.
Durfee.
Yeah.
Okay, another media member.
Zach.
Yeah, another media member keeps making fun of me. It's like, do you at least spell it right? I said, yes, I do. So he had really picked it up when the pads went on, but then he got banged up. So I still think, okay, is there going to be a veteran out there that either gets cut,
right,
or you flip a late round pick, say, hey, you just need a little bit more burst out of that. Wesley Williams, I wrote about him in today's Times Union. He's one to watch tomorrow because he's going to get a lot of playing time. He earned the praise of Anthony Campanile the other day by saying, hey, he's learning both end spots and interior. He goes, that's very tough to do for a young player. So I think they do have some versatility options with Williams.
Caleb Ransaw and Jalen Husky will certainly get a lot of snaps, you would think, tomorrow. How would you assess their camps to this point?
I mean, I would expect them to start together tomorrow. I have not noticed Caleb Ransaw at all.
Yeah.
And does that mean he's doing the right things and is just having bad luck? I don't know. Jalen Husky, you can see why he had such great ball production, interceptions, pass breakups at the college level. He just seems to be around it. And my guess is they would probably lean toward Ransaw if they needed a third safety in week 1 to play. But they have to be happy with Husky. I think he's had a good couple weeks.
Who do you think they will have return punts and kicks tomorrow? Do you think it'll be Trammell?
Trammell is the sort of the default because he, like, before that mock game last week, it was Trammell and Parker. Oh, Parker.
It's not going to be Parker.
Not going to be Parker. Yeah. It should never be Parker Washington unless it's a fair catch. He's too valuable in offense. But I think Trammell would be first up. But I think you got to try Cameron back there, even if it's just a fair catch, just to get used to it a little bit, because that's how he made his name in college.
Yeah, I frankly, it's one of the things I'm most excited about seeing is Josh in a game where, what are we guessing here? 31 guys probably don't even dress. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I'd like to see Josh Cameron get out there and return some punts. But we'll see what the Jaguars elect to do with that. Again, 4:00 tomorrow is the kickoff for Jaguars at Saints. When we come back on the lead, let's bring in Kai Stevens of Jaguars.com. She's in New Orleans. She'll give us her thoughts about how yesterday went in the joint practice with the Saints. We will do that next. You're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The lead from the Harrell & Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
I'm Alan Tyre with Trust-A-Line Mortgage. My business partners Bill Pappas and Ken Rimley want to thank all the top real estate agents and builders who refer us business every day. Thinking about buying or building a new home? At Trust-A-Line Mortgage, we're here to make the mortgage process simple, clear, and stress-free. That's why First Coast residents have trusted us for more than 37 years. Since 1989, Trust-A-Line Mortgage has been your local mortgage company dedicated to personal service. Real people, real conversations, and real solutions. Whether you're looking for a conventional, VA, FHA, or construction loan, Trustline Mortgage brings over 4 decades of experience to help you. And did I mention we offer the most competitive jumbo rates in Florida? If you're ready to buy, build, refinance, or simply explore your options, call Trustline Mortgage today at 904-381-LOAN or visit our website at trustlinemortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Trustline Mortgage, NMLS 331480. Allen Tire, NMLS 246490. Bill Pappas, NMLS 218443. Ken Remley, NMLS 246445.
You know that little voice in your head that says, I really should do something about that septic system? If your yard's getting soggy, things aren't draining like they used to, or you've caught a smell that definitely wasn't there before, don't wait until it becomes an emergency. This month, save $500 on a new septic system installation from Duck Duck Rooter. As the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, Duck Duck Rooter will handle the whole job from permits to final inspection, and you know the work is done right. So when you're stuck, call Duck Duck Rooter, 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com. Financing is available.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Picking here, or maybe you should call me Dreamfinders Danny. Look what Dreamfinders is doing again, an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down the rate and get in the game. You heard me right, a 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Attention contractors, stop wasting time dealing with permits yourself. Use PermitRockstar.com. Their permitting platform helps contractors cut permitting delays by up to 80%. Stop waiting and start building with PermitRockstar.com.
Make your outdoor living space one you're proud of with Sutherland Lawn and Landscape. From landscape design and outdoor living spaces to turf, lighting, irrigation, pavers, and complete residential and commercial maintenance, Sutherland brings your vision to life with quality craftsmanship and a team you can trust. Sutherland Lawn and Landscape, transforming outdoor spaces, elevating everyday living. Visit SUTHERLIN lawn.com today.
23 years and still getting bigger. The Jacksonville Tattoo Convention is back August 21st through 23rd with hundreds of incredible tattoo artists tattooing all weekend long. Explore unique vendors and artisans. Check out Collector's Alley featuring Pokemon, trading cards, sports memorabilia, comics, toys, and more. It's family friendly, parking is free, and tickets are available at the door. Renaissance Resort at World Golf Village, one of Jacksonville's most unique weekends. Visit setattoo.com for more information.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you as Walk-Off Charities has grown, we now manage a large athletic facility with numerous fields, including the Bregan Baseball Complex. To get around, we needed a good, reliable golf cart. I went straight to Dynamic Drives and Design in Jack's Peak. I met with Travis, told him exactly what our needs were. Would you believe before you knew it, the perfect cart was delivered to us at an incredible price? If you need a golf cart, Travis and his team are the go-to. Learn more about them at dynamicdrivesdesign.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond.
Welcome back to The Lead on 1010XL 92.5 FM. It's our great pleasure to bring in our good friend Kai Stevens of Jaguars.com. Kai is in New Orleans documenting the Jaguars' joint practice against the Saints and tomorrow's game, preseason opener against New Orleans. Kai, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Hi, guys. I'm good. How's everything back in Jacksonville?
We're doing good. We miss you, and we're looking forward to seeing you soon. But you got a chance to watch the Jaguars in person against the Saints yesterday, and you really got a chance to hone in on the defense. Kai, how did you feel like it went for the Jaguars?
Yeah, so the way that most joint practices go, they do an abundance of team periods, and they are usually on split fields. So John Ogier, Jaguars senior reporter. We try to split things up a little bit so we can get a decent look at both sides. He took Jaguars offense yesterday. I was the defense for most of the day after our morning show. And it was just one of those, I think it was such a good practice. It was really valuable. We talked so much about how Liam Cohen and a lot of new coaches really value that joint practice time. And they just get so much more out of it, I think, than they do for preseason games. You can just tell the intensity of it is a little bit different. And I was talking to Josh Hines Allen today, actually, and he was like, yeah, I think we had like 47, 50 reps, something like that. And he was just like, we haven't had anything like that recently. And then it's not like a game where, you get them off the field on fourth down, and then you have a bit of a break. It's not like that. They're right back in it. So to get some reps like that, I think the pass rush looked really good to me yesterday. Eric Armstead was all over the place. Josh Hines Allen, Trayvon Walker were getting after it. I think it's hard to kind of quantify that sometimes in training camp because they don't always call the sacks. They kind of just let the play go. But that's where you get some of those cool offensive plays that you saw from some of the Saints players yesterday. But overall, I think it was kind of a wash for me. I saw some good things, some bad things. I think there were some breakdowns they would have liked to kind of avoid. But overall, I think you got a lot more out of that than we would have seen out of a preseason game. So I think very much beneficial, and probably the longest practice because it was over 2 hours. I think like maybe 2:15. So the most work we've seen out of them.
Well, Armstead will take 5 straight days off after he had a
I'll see you Wednesday.
See you Wednesday.
Yeah.
I digress.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Miller and Combs, I think they should play. I think they will play. What's your thought on that? And if they do, what do you need to see if we can gain some clarity on that competition tomorrow?
Yeah, from my understanding, they will play some tomorrow. Probably the only starters we're going to see. That's probably the only. I mean, when you go down the roster, this thing's pretty set. That's probably the only roster spot where there's an either-or question mark. And I don't even know at the end of this if it's going to be first team, second team.
Mm-hmm.
These two are they're different players, right? I think Combs is probably someone they want on passing downs. Ventrell runs downhill. He's great on, the rush and when there's a run game involved. So I think it's just both of them proving that they've kind of solidified themselves, and then it'll be more of a rotation. But those are probably the only starters we're going to see. I know they've been really pleased with what they've seen out of Combs. I know they liked him a lot last year, but just his development from practice squad and everything last year to this year, they're happy with what they're seeing. But other than that, it's going to be a lot of lower guys down the lineup, kind of seeing what they have.
Kai, what were the overall vibes from how yesterday went for the team overall? Because, Liam in his presser after, basically was like, look, we got off to a sluggish start, but I commend the guys because, we hung in and didn't just, tank the day and ended up, really rising to the occasion. So once everything the dust had kind of settled and, you're sort of, you guys are back and just recharging, what was sort of the mood around the team on how it went?
Yeah, I think it's good and bad, right? So, you want to go out there and have that competition. This isn't like last year where they went to Miami and it really looked terrible, in my opinion. Trevor didn't look good. It was kind of a disastrous practice for them. This one was very much, I think, some ebbs and flows. It was much more like a game where stuff doesn't go right every time and you work through it and you find a way. You're not just throwing the towel in, I'm going to have a crap day. It didn't start great, and then they kind of battled their way back into it and got something out of it. That's what you want to get out of training camp, I think, and specifically with a joint practice. If you're going to a joint practice, you're just dominating the other people. You're not getting anything out of it. So to have some different looks, you're going up against different people. It's not your teammates that have seen the same thing 5 times. It gives you that challenge, and maybe it brings up an area you didn't realize was an issue or a different look that you hadn't thought about. They have that ability. I think Liam was pleased going back to see different looks of what it looked like. And, he's on the offensive side of football most of the day. So good to go back, look what the defense is doing. And it gives them teaching points going forward. Yes, they're there every single day and they're going up against each other, but now they can kind of address certain things in a different and utilize film more as a learning point, I think, when you actually have some very competitive reps that they don't have necessarily during training camp against themselves.
Kai, you're doing sidelines for radio tomorrow. You have roughly 37 guys not playing. Will they just form a line so you can interview them during the game?
That's what I'm thinking, or I'm just going to get into everybody's life story because we'll have time to talk because I don't know what this game is going to look like. No, all jokes aside, it's going to be fun. I love it. I really enjoy it. It's it's a unique environment. The Superdome's super cool. So, yeah, we'll have some sideline interviews. Obviously, the local TV broadcast will have as well. Brian Sexton and Bucky Brooks are going to be doing the TV. And then it'll just be, it's a good time. It's a good time to get to know everybody's thoughts on these things. I think there'll be some in-game interviews with some people you may recognize. So they may not be playing, but you get to hear from them anyway.
Good.
Yeah, through the first 2 weeks of training camp, Kai, just how overall do you think the team has progressed?
I think it just looks a lot smoother, right? Like last year it was like implementing everything. Now it's like, okay, this is our standard. This is what we expect. And as I mentioned, I feel like going into it, there's a lot of competition, which is great, but it also feels like there's not as many open spots. So this is going to be a year maybe they haven't always had where most of the people that they're cutting are getting picked up by somebody else. It's not going to be a thing where it's like a clear cut, easy cuts. I think there will be some difficult cuts for those final spots, and then trying to sneak some guys on the practice squad. I don't know how successful they'll be because I think there are definitely some guys that will get grabbed up pretty quickly. So some of that, and then also just seeing some of these young guys actually in game action, which we haven't seen yet. There's a lot of these rookies that have been standing out to everybody. So being able to see them in a game will be fun too.
Kai, you mentioned rookies. We talked about Borkature and Kozio earlier in the show. I'm kind of interested to see how they're used tomorrow. Do you have what are your expectations for them, both the run game and pass game?
I am curious as well. I don't know how much play they will get because I know even though they're not maybe starters written on as the schedule, I know they're going a lot farther down the depth list than we originally thought. But again, you have to have bodies out there. So I'm assuming we'll see them a little bit. For me, it's kind of seeing what they do with the rest of the wide receivers. Because to me, like, I know how much they love Josh Cameron and CJ Williams, but like, do they want to play them a ton? I'm not really sure what that looks like. They need people on special teams too. So I think this first game is going to be very telling to see what the rest of the preseason is going to look like, because I know they're not playing the starters, but they might not even do like maybe second team for some guys, depending on a risk injury if they don't have to.
Yeah, very good. Kai, we'll get you out with this one. Give us a grade on JP Shadrick's press conference.
Oh, no. Well, first of all, I mean, I don't know what it would take to get a press conference around here, but the best part is they had their head coach talking, and JP was the next person out. Like, can you imagine? We have Liam Cohen, and then it's a JP Shadrick press conference. No, he was holding court for sure. I'm sure he loved his first game call last night. They played, the Cardinals played the Raiders in Vegas, so I'm happy for him. I'll give him a solid B.
All right. That's
he definitely
fair.
passed, but he was ready for the moment, but always room for improvement.
Yeah, absolutely. That was hilarious. Kai, what's coming up on Jaguars.com?
So, of course, we have the broadcast coming up this on Saturday, so check that out. And then happy hour and Jags AM on Monday to recap both joint practice and, of course, what went down in the game, whoever ends up playing.
All right, Kai, we certainly appreciate it. Enjoy New Orleans. We'll look forward to seeing you on Monday.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.
All right, thanks, Kai.
All right, great stuff from Kai Stevens.
Standing next to JP last week, I practiced with. He goes, I'm gonna have a press conference when I get there. I said, well, that sounds fun. He goes, does it?
Yeah. It looked like he handled it pretty well.
Like, he
didn't take himself so seriously and was like, guys, it's just football. You know what I mean? So, but it was striking when he tweeted it out. It's like, why is JP Shadrick behind a podium? Yeah. And then it was like, oh, there you go.
So I was looking for it.
Yeah, that's funny. It caught me off guard, but good for JP Shadrick, and hopefully he does great. I'm sure he will with the Arizona Cardinals. We come back on the lead. Let's hear from you. Give us a call at 641-1010, or you can text us. What do you want to see tomorrow against New Orleans? We'll do that next. You're listening to The Lead on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You're listening to The Lead from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The great thing about live sports, you never know what's going to happen.
Oh, how did he pull that off?
Get the most live play-by-play on 1010XL.
I'm Matt Lennon with AB Signs. Your truck, trailer, or storefront should be your best salesperson. So I create custom signs and graphics that get your business noticed. Local, fast, and built to last. Call AB Signs and make your brand stand out.
Frank Francie here. The deals at Nimnick Buick GMC have never been better. This month, save up to $16,000 off a new GMC Sierra truck, the kind I drive, and I love it. Or save more than $6,000 on a new Buick SUV. Plus, 0% financing for 60 months is now available. With the largest selection of new Buicks and GMCs in the region, why would you go anywhere else? Shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com or head to the showroom off Phillips Highway. Great prices, great interest rates. Who takes care of you? Really takes care of you? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC, we are professional grade.
Take a walk on the wild side and step into the great outdoors. Look at this beast. Captain Kevin and Captain Kirk join Jeff Lageman every Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on the Nimnicht Outdoors Show. You got it. On 1010XL.
This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harrell & Harrell. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harrell & Harrell make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
25 weeks comes down to this. You ready? 3 wide under the lights. Zero margin for error. Everything on the line. Flirting with 200 miles per hour in the place where this journey began. Race 26, the final hunt for a spot in the chase. The Coke Zero Sugar 400 weekend at Daytona, August 28th through 29th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Hey, poker players, are you looking for big jackpot excitement?
You know it, and I heard Best Bet is the place to go for Vegas-style table games and big jackpot winnings. With friendly dealers, exciting action, and games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker, there's no better place to play.
That's right. With 3 locations, there's a Best Bet location close by for you to win big. See all the details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Hi, I'm Blake Bortles. People know I've always said if I wasn't playing football, I'd probably be on a construction site. So Next Gen Roofing finally let me live the dream.
Blake, why are you wearing a red practice jersey?
Always worn it for safety.
Right. Well, around here, the red jersey means you're the new guy, so you're in charge of garbage cleanup.
Perfect. I love garbage time. Always excelled in it.
It's not exactly what I meant.
Good thing Next Gen Roofing has real pros handling everything from family homes to large commercial buildings. Next Gen, teamed up with you. Teamed up with you.
When you need a unique gift idea, visit one of the Kuhn Flower showrooms. I'm RJ for 1010XL. You'll see hundreds of cool gifts for any member of your family or friends. Kuhn Flowers, for over 75 years. Online at kuhnflowers.com.
Hey, Hicken here. I want to talk skin along with my friends at Peaches Dermatology, reminding you to wear your sunscreen. Football season is back, baby. And with that, days under that bright sun. So when you load up that truck for the game day tailgate, or the chairs for your kids' flat games, or even the boat heading downtown to watch our Jags, make sure you bring the screen. Sunscreen, that is. It's a must here in Duval. But if you have any concerns right now, give Beaches Dermatology a call online at beachesdermatology.com.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, soccer fans, Sporting Jacks is giving away a new Honda Accord Saturday, 8:15. Sporting Jacks men take on Indy 11 at 7 on Hodges Field at UNF. Just be there. Someone will win a new car from Honda at the Avenues and Sporting Jacks. Visit sportingjacks.com today.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's your turn to talk. Call or text us at 641-1010. We hear from you now on The Lead.
All right, it is your turn. Text us at 641-1010. That's designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also call us at 641-1010. We've already gotten a bunch of great ones, so Ryan, kick us off. What are you seeing?
412, who's also Derek from Tennessee. He's looking forward to seeing how Wyatt Milam plays tomorrow. He's an interesting spot where 2 guard spots can be up for grabs this year and going to the next. I agree with you that I'm interested to see how Milam plays. He hasn't had a great camp by this eye. I don't think he's in starting contention to play at guard this year with Macari in Cleveland, but definitely this is his chance to show the coaches that he'll be ready in a pinch. They don't need to play Walker Little there at guard, and definitely moving forward.
Yeah, I would say that Milam has been, I'd say, more disappointing so far. But again, you don't know how much is the head swimming. He's having to move around a little bit. So certainly not ready to like write him off by any stretch of the imagination. But it would be good to see another gear start to kick in, particularly if they do get a little healthier and he's able to get back to just working at like one spot.
And he's the primary beneficiary right now of all those injuries.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
take advantage of it.
Without a doubt.
Speaking of injuries,
Yeah, JJ, what are you seeing?
That's what the 982 says. All I want from the Jags game tomorrow, all caps about 4 times, no more injuries.
Yeah, and so far it's...
Who are the players that would even be playing, though, that you'd worry about it? But I guess the linebackers.
Yeah, I guess so.
You don't want anyone, even the backups on the O-line, to get hurt.
Yeah,
obviously.
it is weird that they, it's great they've avoided any kind of significant injury. It doesn't appear like any of these are, severe. They don't have to put out an injury report this time of year, but it doesn't seem, they're not putting anybody on IR. I haven't seen a helicopter land on the field. We haven't seen ambulances, rushing, away from the stadium. So, it's good that none of them have been significant, but it's also peculiar how 90% of them have been at one position.
I'm just looking at the roster here. Tomorrow, if they chose, they could play all 4 quarterbacks, all 6 running backs, all 12 receivers.
Right.
And probably the same at the defensive lines, but you're right. It's just been contained to one spot, and it's an important spot.
Josh Cameron might be able to play left guard. He's a big kid, so we'll see. The 945 talking about those rookie receivers says if C.J. Williams is too slow to be a special teams gunner and he hasn't been a returner on kickoff or punts, why should he make the team? It's not like the 6th receiver ever sees the field. Wouldn't it be more prudent to keep 6 corners over 6 receivers? Great question. C.J. Williams is going to make the team because he looks like he might legitimately be a pretty good receiver at the NFL level, and you can't risk cutting him and having somebody else pick him up. So I think C.J. Williams there probably was a sense when he got drafted late round that, he would help out on special teams, but he's looked so smooth and instinctive as a receiver, Ryan. I don't think he's the 6th receiver. I'm not counting Travis Hunter as a receiver. I know you're not either. We're counting him at corner. Yeah. So it's the 3 stars at receiver. Then I think it's Williams and Cameron in some order are the 4 and 5. And then the 6th receiver, assuming they keep one, will be a special teams component guy, whether it's a Trammell or a Tim Jones.
And I think it'll be 5 receivers on the 53, not counting Hunter. But one more point on this text, 6 corners. Right now, I only have 5 at corner. Jamar Muhammad is not showing up like he did in the offseason program. A guy who I felt has made some plays is the veteran Corey Ballantyne. Does he start wedging his way into the mix? Because Braswell hasn't done a lot of stuff in team. So that last corner spot for the 5th corner spot is gaining some intrigue, at least to me.
Yeah, good stuff. There's we got lots coming in here, so we'll try and go quick so we can get all these in. The 449 says, one word, dominance. Also in regards to Parker Washington, if we have learned anything about Gladstone, he likes to make moves late into the night. I think they will re-sign Parker Washington, but I think it'll be the night before the season or in the middle of it. If not, it'll be a stain on the front office. Well, if they don't get the Parker Washington deal done, that's not going to be, that's not going to reflect well on them. I still think it gets done. He's had the best training camp of anybody. I still think at some point his camp is going to look at the big picture and say, Parker, if you don't want to do a 4 or 5 year deal, that's fine. But we need to lock in life-changing money now before you go out there against Cleveland or any of these other teams and potentially get your knee caved in.
Mm-hmm. And that's, I would agree. I think it's still going to get done Labor Day weekend. The 982 says they're interested to see Albert Regis and Wesley Williams. Liam kind of called out Regis earlier this week. I agree with you. They're both going to play a lot. And to me, Regis, as a run defender, practices are tough to evaluate. Get him in a game, see how he plays the run.
Yeah, the 687 says or asks, will Pregnon rotate in this year? I wouldn't think rotate in because they don't, other than Doug Marrone platooning like at right guard one time for like a month, you almost never see that. So I think as of now, it would take an injury. I think Pregnon had some pretty good momentum.
Yeah.
But when you're a rookie and you get, even if you just miss like a week, boy, it's hard to overtake a veteran.
Yeah, and he was injured the first day in pads when they had him working as the first team right guard. I mean, at this point, if he plays this year, it'll be either somebody who's really been terrible or is hurt.
This is from Crazy But Nice Pastor Guy. We certainly appreciate you. He says, afternoon, fellas. Love listening to y'all. Appreciate that. I'm excited to see the 2 rookie receivers and would like to know just how fast Josh Cameron truly is. 4.4 to 4.65 is a wide range. I would say split the difference.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be my guess.
And to me, his game isn't running by somebody. It's out jumping somebody and out physicaling somebody. That's where he's made his plays this year and won those contested catches. The 8.74, which the players that are injured play week 1, I think they're in pretty decent shape overall. Van Lannen's a question mark. Kaiser, whatever. But to me, the Walker Little
But
thing
Kaiser, they told us the day after the injury, he is going to return in camp.
Yeah,
so again, unless there's a setback or something, you would think. I'm with you. I don't know how much it matters at this point, but yeah, I'd say other than Van Lannen, they look like they're in good shape. We're still a month away from the Browns.
And it's the same group of folks who told me what's his name? DeGregoro.
Oh yeah.
Well, he'll be back in a couple weeks. Well, he's on IR right now.
Yeah,
he's done for the season. So, but to answer that guy's question, long-term stuff, they're in decent shape right now, knock on wood.
5.63. Go ahead, JJ.
I was going to say 7.16 real quick. Can we afford $70 million in 3 wide receivers plus Strange if BTJ rebound?
Yeah, I mean, that's a problem that I mean is a little far ahead, but again, they're going to they have like $60 million in dead money that's going to get wiped away. They're not going to have very much dead money next year. Really at all. They'll probably be top 5 in the league in terms of not because they didn't really cut anybody this offseason. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
That create a lot of that. So $60 million of dead money that you don't have this year, you will have. And again, I have to think that between Cleveland, Hainsey, McCary, Murray, probably all 4 of those guys, this is probably their last year here, which frees up money.
Did you mention Lewis?
Lewis is another one.
Yeah. And here's the thing because Brian Thomas enters this equation, if we got a second on this one.
Yeah.
Let's say Parker Washington comes in at 18. Jacoby Myers is 20. Those contracts sort of are reaching the end by the time Brian Thomas would be eligible or get his extension.
Right.
He's on year 3 of what could be a 5-year deal.
And I'm sorry, but I'm making Brian Thomas Jr. play it out.
Yeah. I pick up the 5th-year option
Yeah.
and say, you got it. That rookie year was empty calories.
Right.
You got to do it on a team that's good. I mean, to me, I try and get Washington done. He probably would get a lot more on the open market, but what kind of situation would he be going into?
563 says, big Jarian Jones fan, and I'm curious how this group sees him going into the year. I think they love Jarian Jones. It's just a question of, they've got a good problem at corner in which obviously Travis Hunter is a lockdown on one side. Buster Brown's had a good camp, so he's on the other side. Jordan Lewis is absolutely, was playing phenomenal football for them last year before the injury. So it's hard.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes Jarian sort of the top backup, I would imagine, at all 3 spots.
Yeah, I think the 2 things on Jarian. One is, I think in week 1, when they feel like they need to give Travis Hunter a break on defense, it's going to be Jarian Jones, not Jordan Lewis moving outside. I think Jordan Lewis is going to strictly be a nickel guy. His injury situation bears monitoring. Second thing is what Liam Cohen told me before camp started, and I quote, we got to find ways to get Jarian Jones on the field. To me, I think they're going to play more dime. 4 corners and 2 safeties. He's one of those corners.
Yeah, I like it. I think that look would be very effective. When we come back on the lead, appreciate that. Great stuff from you guys. And you can keep texting us at 641-1010. We'll continue to monitor it throughout our last hour. But when we come back on the lead, let's get it to headlines. You're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's The Lead with Hayes, Ryan, and JJ from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Just remember, guys, when you put on that 1010XL jersey, the name on the front is a lot more important than the name on the back.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Looking for an engagement ring that doesn't look like everyone else's?
Not every woman wants a cookie cutter ring that you find in every jewelry store around town.
Meet Ben Lupo, second generation owner at Beard's Diamonds, who says a lot of couples come in today looking for something different, even a custom design ring. They come in with pictures or drawings, or sometimes they combine things they like from several rings into a one-of-a-kind creation.
We can really kind of put all of those notes into one piece and show her her creation. If she likes it, we move forward. If not, we can change it however many times to make sure that we get it correct for her.
And here's the best part. Custom design rings at Beard's usually don't cost any extra.
You really have that ability to fully customize your ring without spending a ton of dollars, as opposed to just buying something right out of the case.
So don't settle for a chain store cookie cutter ring. Come to Beard's for all the top designer rings, and where you can also create that one-of-a-kind treasure.
You get the ability to customize your ring and put your stamp on it however you want.
Beard's Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center. Online at beardsdiamonds.com.
Former Gator Patrick Young pours out orange and blue passion with Hacker on the Gator Bites podcast.
Patrick Young, coming to life.
Tipped off by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Fridays on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
Hacker here for Cornerstone Interior Solutions. If your AC is working overtime every summer, your insulation may be the problem. Homeowners and builders across Northeast Florida are calling Cornerstone to upgrade to spray foam insulation. It seals homes, crawl spaces, garages, blocking in cool air and blocking out heat. So your home stays cooler, your system runs easier, and your energy bills stay under control. Don't wait for peak heat. Visit CornerstoneInteriorSolutions.com.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Get ready for an unforgettable night of classic rock with Starship featuring Mickey Thomas. The unmistakable voice of Mickey Thomas and Starship with special guest John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. Sunday, August 23rd at Florida Theater. An evening packed with songs you know and love from two legendary acts. Get your tickets now at floridatheater.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Ticket here. For nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools has been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools. Summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
I'm Jared Justice with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Gate Petroleum Company. Sporting Jacks men's soccer faces Indy 11 tomorrow at Hodges Stadium at 7 p.m. It's back to school night, and if you attend, you have a chance to win a 2026 Honda Accord. The Jags are introducing a fans' first favorites value menu at Everbank Stadium for the 2026 season, featuring select concession items for $4.99. The Jags play at the Saints tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pre-game starts at 1 right here on 1010XL. It's 79 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Cooler Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Cooler.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Your news right now. It's Hayes' headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell.
We certainly appreciate our friends at Harrell and Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. They will take great care of you. They are wonderful people, caring people, empathetic people, and fantastic at what they do. 251-1111, Harrell and Harrell. Ryan, let's start with the Jaguars Saints tomorrow at 4. Give us what's like the biggest thing that you're looking forward to watching or that you'll be keeping an eye on in the game?
To me, I'll give you three real quick things without explanation. Linebackers, Miller versus Combs, both out there at the same time. The two safeties, Ransaw and Husky, who returns punts, and also Borkature.
Yeah, good stuff. Travis Hunter will not be playing tomorrow. We know that. But he joined our good buddy Fred Taylor and company on the pivot. And Travis Hunter was asked, can he maximize his potential at the NFL level while playing both sides of the ball?
We all get the same 24 hours, but what am I going to do different with them?
Yeah.
How am I going to take care of my body? That's the main thing. If I could take care of my body, I believe I could do whatever I need and whatever I set my mind to. If I'm trying to be the best, how you going to be the best if you ain't trying to be the best, if you ain't trying to compete and do the best to be the best?
Yeah.
So my main focus is be the best. So I'm going to do everything I can do to be the best. Yeah. I don't want to be the best at one position. There's a lot of people that's the best at one position. Ain't nobody yet been the best at both full time.
Riveting.
Yeah. I like how they're like, that's thoughtful.
I will say it's still, though, it's extraordinary that he's willing to say, look, I'm not only trying to do this, which no one does. I'm trying to be the best receiver in the league and the best corner. Like, you have to give the kid credit. I mean, that's a lot of courage to be able to say in a public forum, I'm not just trying to do this and be decent at both, which would still be extraordinary. I'm trying to be the best at both. It's going to be really exciting to see what Travis Hunter can do this season. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Let's get it to around the NFL. 6 games last night. Pittsburgh rookie quarterback Drew Aller accounts for 3 touchdowns and 3 drives. Aller was 11 of 13 for 153 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air, ran for a short touchdown. But boy, if you're the Steelers, that was a pleasant surprise right out of the gate.
Yeah, because if you're the Steelers, you want to see something from him to say during the offseason, do we really need to draft a guy?
Right.
And also, that's the same thing, Carson Beck, Arizona situation. Does he show enough to say, hey, let's move forward with him for a year? So a couple of quarterback things. Richardson, 11 of 14, but he had 2 turnovers. Graham Mertz, Florida kid, tore his ACL.
Yeah,
so,
boy. And Mertz has done that before, so you wonder if that might be it for Graham Mertz.
Mm-hmm. So, and then we mentioned the Arizona quarterbacks earlier.
Yeah, and, I thought it was it's interesting with the Steelers and Aller, because obviously Aaron Rodgers has said this is my last year, but Pittsburgh might win enough. Like, I don't think they're going to be great, but if they go like 8-9, then you're picking like 17th, somewhere in there probably. And maybe that gives you, if you're the Steelers, a little bit more pause of do we take the 5th quarterback off the board, or do we, ride it out with Aller? But he looked good. That big-time arm was certainly on display.
We just couldn't let Aaron Philo get past 18.
Now you're speaking my language. Fernando Mendoza throws a touchdown in his Raiders debut. He was 10 of 16 for 97 yards in relief of Kirk Cousins. And on the Arizona side of things, Jeremiah Love looked good for the Cardinals. 11 carries for 58 yards, 3 catches for 14 yards.
Yeah, I don't know what the Raiders are doing. I mean, just play Mendoza, name him the starter after the camp ends, and then somebody will call you about Kirk Cousins at some point.
Without a doubt.
Somebody's going to get hurt.
Yeah,
Yes.
without a
See it
doubt.
all the time.
Cam Ward, I thought his numbers were a little bit better than this, but Cam Ward struggled a little bit last night. Again, environment wasn't maybe great around him, but 5 of 12 for 57 yards.
Yeah, he should be somebody that should be 7 of 12 or 8 of 12 in a first preseason game when you know exactly what plays you're going to be running.
The Seahawks sign legally challenged cornerback Terrion Arnold. Surprised? Because isn't he? I mean, he's like looking at like legitimately like going away.
This league has
for a
no
while.
shame whatsoever because it wasn't just the Seahawks. There was like tons of teams that were going.
And to me, here's how I can rationalize this if I'm Seattle. It's not domestic violence.
Yeah.
Right now, he's just a knucklehead. But they have to have gotten some kind of intel that, okay, is he going to be put on the exempt list? Will he be eligible to participate while this legal process carries out. I think it's a smart move by Seattle. It's a no-risk move because they worked them out. So the better get better.
Without a doubt. I was surprised by this story as well. So Falcons defensive end James Pierce has been suspended for the first 8 games for violating the personal conduct policy. But this was another one that sort of rose to a different level of infraction in terms of what he's alleged to have done. Were you surprised that, because this is another case that could result, I would think, in fairly harsh legal consequences.
I mean, I think the 8 games came from, the initial the initial charges where you're not playing again. But they sort of went down in severity, and that's what the NFL will always base it on, is what does the legal system
actually result.
And that's why the Arnold thing is obviously still monitored, because it's still in limbo right now.
Yeah. 3
Arnold
games.
was the kidnapping, right? Like he got
I want
robbed.
my stuff back.
Yeah, he got robbed, and then he hired some people to go kidnap and rob the guy back. I mean, what are we doing, man?
Yeah. That was
if that's a regular everyday guy, not an NFL player, you're going to prison for like 10 years.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. 3 games tonight: Tampa Bay at the New York Jets, Miami at Washington, and Denver at Atlanta. I'm not sure on starters tonight, but anything. I think Tampa Bay and the Jets is the game that's on NFL Network.
I'll have it on.
Yeah.
One thing that I wrote down that bears watching for the rest of the weekend is 6 of the 12 teams last night had rushing averages below 4. Teams couldn't run it. They haven't. And then the other thing is 8 teams last night had at least 7 penalties. So the flags are flying when these kids are on the field.
Yeah. It's
but maybe
it's
Atlanta
time for learning.
If Tua starts for Atlanta,
that'd be
I don't know if
interesting.
it's on TV.
Yeah. I'm curious to see. And Tampa Bay's got some really exciting rookies, so we'll see if they're out there at all.
Bain has looked great in camp.
Yeah. You knew that was going to be one of the biggest steals.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he's going to be super motivated to prove everybody wrong.
That was like a shame on the league for letting Bain fall like that. Let's get it to the PGA Tour. Scotty Scheffler sizzling today as we are in the first event of the FedEx playoff. He shot a 9 under par 61. He's up 3 shots on Sunjay M. There's still golf going on right now. He was playing with Rory McIlroy and completely embarrassed him. McIlroy 4 over.
Rory played like a guy who hasn't played in a month. Oh, wait. So he's using this week as a get the rust off, go to St. Louis, make sure you're in the top 30, and then contend for a tour championship. But his game doesn't appear to be in that state right now.
Yeah. In Major League Baseball, the Phillies beat the Twins 7-1 in the Field of Dreams game. 26 Hall of Famers emerged from the corn in pregame. JJ, did you watch any of this? Because I did not. What'd you think?
I thought it was hilarious that, it's from the Field of Dreams, obviously, the movie, and Shoeless Joe Jackson's in the movie. He was kicked out of baseball for gambling. And on the fence in the outfield, DraftKings. It's like, gosh, talk about no shame. But by the way, Schwarber, we were talking about him yesterday about how he's been in a huge slump.
Right.
Hit 2 home runs. One was off of a guy's glove. It should have been an out, but still, he looks like he's getting back to his early season form.
I turned it on, and
Netflix, by the way.
The best option was Matt Vasgersian and Hunter Pence.
I don't hate Matt Vasgersian, but like the clown show that is that whole booth during
Elle
Netflix
Duncan?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, she's the
And they're
worst.
all talking over each other. And like if you hear the broadcast call of the second home run, you would never know what's going on. We played it on primetime earlier today. It's just Netflix. I hate they're involved in sports. I just hate that they're involved. And it's only 3 games, but I just don't want to see them become a place where we have to watch, weekly an NFL game on
Right.
there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But anytime you can see Harold Baines emerge from a cornfield,
Yes.
you've had a great night. We'll get you out with the musical nugget of the day. We're going to do a little throwback here. Oh, how good is that? The Breeders' Cannonball, released this week back in 1993. Wow. How is this song 33 years old, JJ? I am aging rapidly.
MTV staple.
MTV staple, that's right. One of the most popular songs in alternative rock in the 1990s. Holds up well today. Hope you enjoy it. When we come back on the lead, let's get it to Gainesville and talk to that rascal Mark Long. We're going to talk some Gators, maybe a touch of Jaguars. You're listening to 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
This is The Lead from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Nimnick Chevrolet is Northeast Florida's truck headquarters. Now this month, you ready for this? Save more than $15,000 on a brand new Silverado at Nimnick Chevrolet. And 0% financing for 60 months is now available. Plus, no payments for 90 days. They've got great selection of new Chevrolets. So many, more than anybody in the region. And always you get that Nimnick best price guarantee. I've told you this before. I've been shopping at Nimnick since 1982. I had never bought a car by myself. I went to Nimnick Chevrolet. Well, I've been doing it ever since. My friend Billy Nimnick Jr. helped me buy a car, God rest his soul. And Billy Nimnick III now, who runs the joint, still takes care of everybody the way they've always taken care of me. You get great prices, the lowest interest rates. They really take care of you, an incredible inventory to choose from. Why go anywhere else? Head to Nimnick Chevrolet on Cassadet Park right now. Great prices, great interest rates. Who takes really, really, really good care of you when you want to buy a car or truck? Well, that's easy. Nobody but Nimnick.
I was put on this planet for one reason.
Baloo.
To play hockey.
Rick Baloo takes you
Don't you ever touch my puck!
into the night. Weeknights
Just behave, okay?
on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here from my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Get all the football your senses can handle. Every Friday in Duval is a First Coast Football Friday with Hayes Carline, Ryan O'Halloran, and Rick Ballou. Built by Cash Building Material and the law offices of Jason K.S. Porter.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you, in this financial climate, or really any, it's never been more important to make your money work for you, which is why I'll recommend Mike McGuire and the wealth management team at South State Bank. Financial planning is based on trust, because it's so important. You can trust the South State team. They offer the best combination of sophisticated wealth management strategies with a truly personal approach. That will help you meet your financial goals. Stop by your local South State branch and ask them to connect you with Mike McGuire and the wealth management team. You'll be glad you did. South State Bank, member FDIC. Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But you know my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Do you have numbness and tingling in your fingers, or wake up at night and have to shake your hand? Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari, and at Bari Orthopedics, we have a myriad of treatments that can possibly help you. If you have numbness and tingling, you may have carpal tunnel. We have cortisone injections, PRP injections, and shockwave therapy that may help treat the numbness and tingling that you have. We also treat it surgically with endoscopic carpal tunnel release, a 2-centimeter incision that will release the nerve and have you back at work and doing what you want to do in life in no time. If you have numbness and tingling in your hand, give us a call at Bari Orthopedics or log on at BariOrthopedics.com.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangie. If you spend even one summer in Jacksonville, you know how important your vehicle's air conditioning is. Right now, Big Chief Tire is offering $50 off AC services to keep you cool on the road. They'll keep you cool all summer long with honest service and fair pricing. Don't wait until you're driving with the windows down in August. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com and schedule your appointment today. Big Chief Tire. Service you can trust. I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you as Walk-Off Charities has grown, we now manage a large athletic facility with numerous fields, including the Bregan Baseball Complex. To get around, we needed a good, reliable golf cart. I went straight to Dynamic Drives and Design in Jack's Peak. I met with Travis, told him exactly what our needs were. Would you believe before you knew it, the perfect cart was delivered to us at an incredible price? If you need a golf cart, Travis and his team are the go-to. Learn more about them at dynamicdrivesdesign.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
I'd like to start. I didn't acknowledge this last week when I addressed you guys, but Mark Long's absence, thoughts and prayers to him as he's on his road to recovery. Grateful for what he does covering our program as well as all y'all.
Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
He covers the Jags. He covers the Gators. It's Fourth and Long with Mark Long of the Associated Press, now on The Lead on 1010XL.
Coach of the year, right there, baby. Coach of the year.
He got my vote for SEC coach. Well, he went 4-8. I don't care.
How about that shout out, Mark Long?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was great. It was nice. It was not unexpected. I mean, I good dude. He's been fantastic every step of the way. It didn't surprise me by any stretch of the imagination. And let me just say, there have been a lot of people who have reached out. He did it publicly, but Todd Golden's been fantastic. Mark Lamping for the Jags has been fantastic. Chad Johnson, not a lot of people know who Chad Johnson is, but Chad Johnson's one of the guys who has reached out like every single week from the Jags organization without fail. So a lot of people I did not expect to reach out have done so.
Yeah, that's great. How about the people who haven't reached out? Let's hear a list of those guys.
Yes, please.
The airing of grievances will now commence. So are you about a week away from like being back, or is that timeline still intact? What you told us last week?
Yeah, no. Next Thursday is the big doctor's appointment 1 week from yesterday, and I would anticipate, and fingers crossed, hoping that I get clearance to start walking again. And, it's still going to be a little bit on that, but I hope that it comes back pretty quickly, right? I've been walking for a long time. So it'll be different, but I think it'll happen. And this time a week from now, we'll have unbelievable news.
Okay.
That's awesome. So Florida is about a week into camp now, Mark. What are you hearing? What's sort of the early vibes of Summerall's first fall camp?
Yeah, he's not going easy on him, right? That's what, to me, is what stands out is he is pushing them to the brink, really, really, really trying to see who's got what and who steps up in crunch time. He's putting them in these competitive situations, ones versus ones, two versus twos every single day. This is, not a lot of people do that in camp, go good on good for extended periods of time. He's doing that. They've got a scrimmage tomorrow in the swamp, closed scrimmage. They are keeping this very close to the vest, which we've discussed on here a few times. That they want to have a little bit of an element of surprise going into the season, especially week 3 at Auburn. So they're going to keep this thing really close to the vest, closed as much as possible. So you're not seeing a lot, but what you hear is the usual suspects, right? We know this is going to be Jaden Ball's team. We know they're going to be able to throw the ball to these receivers, try to get these guys in space, quick hitters, while these two quarterbacks develop. They still don't know who it's going to be. I think Philo certainly has, a little bit of a head advantage right now over Tramel Jones Jr., but, that could change, and there's no place like that could change. There's no better place for that to change than in these scrimmages. When you're talking about, a little bit, it's a controlled environment, but it's certainly an opportunity for these guys to shine against pretty much live competition. They won't be live in terms of tackle to the ground, but the quarterbacks will be protected, but they're certainly going to be under pressure.
Dallas Wilson. Summerall said basically he's being managed during camp. How rare is this for a Florida player to be be on this kind of schedule, even though he, by all accounts, is cleared to participate?
Yes. And you know what? What strikes me about it, and even Summerall has said it, this is not a guy with a ton of time on task, is the term Summerall uses. I just call it game experience. But he doesn't have a lot of game experience. Played 4 games last year, certainly shined in a couple of those. But to protect this kid in year 2 with only 4 games played, to protect him at this point, they protected him all spring, right? They protected him throughout the summer. This guy barely is lifting weights. He's doing some, but he's not going full in the weight room. He's not going full in terms of speed out there. Now, he is going now full at some, but then they're giving him days off here and there. They're going to hold him back. I don't know how much he'll do in the scrimmage. I know this. They want to get him healthy to week 1. And when you're doing that with a guy, a sophomore who's only played 4 games and really only played probably 3 of those, like fully played, maybe not even that, it tells you what they think of him and how good they think he's going to be or is and how important he is to the roster. But it is a strange situation, and it makes you wonder, how ready is he going to be week one? But, they did this, Billy Napier and his staff did this with DJ Lagway last year, and the guy was rusty right out of the gate, loses week 2 to USF. So you hope that Dallas Wilson's a little bit ahead of where DJ Lagway was this time last year.
Was anything new with the swamp renovation?
No, they're still, they're still getting there. It's funny. I've been thinking a lot about the swamp this last week because I heard this great swamp story. I don't know if you got time for this, but Buffalo opened its stadium last weekend with a scrimmage. I think they have a preseason game either this week or next week. And I don't know if you know this, but there are 10 other teams in the NFL that are working on stadiums, either redoing their current stadium or trying to get new stadiums. I'll go through them. Tennessee, Jacksonville, we know, Kansas City, Carolina, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Chicago, Washington, Tampa Bay, and Denver. That's 11 of 32 teams are going through some semblance of stadium upgrades. And we all know what, this is all about raising the bottom line, the bottom line, being able to charge more for seats, being able to cover fans. I think when you look at the state of Florida, Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, Miami did it. They're all trying to provide some sort of shade covering for the fans, which tells you kind of what the feedback has been in the 20 or 30 or 40 years that these teams have been in business. And you go around the league, and I think Tennessee's going to be a dome. Kansas City's already going to be a dome. I believe Washington and Denver, Cleveland are all talking about domes. Like Cleveland is definitively a dome. So you get an idea of where we're headed for the league. But it brings you back to the University of Florida. I heard this great story. I had never heard this before. Stop me if you have, Hayes.
No,
but I have
the floor is yours.
So when they were doing the north end zone renovation, it would have been 1992 maybe 97, 98, whatever the year was, in 2000.
It was probably 92 because when I started there in 94, and they didn't have any renovations while I was there.
There you go. Okay. So the north end zone renovation, right? Spend millions of dollars to do the north end zone. It's done. Like it's done. They're ready to do a grand opening. Jeremy Foley goes up to the top row, sits in the top row. He says, I want to see what the worst seat in the new revamped stadium is. He gets to the top row. And the reason I'm saying this is because Buffalo had some seats, right, that had obstructed views, and it became a little bit of a firestorm. And the Bills said, hey, we aren't even selling those seats. They're for concerts, other events. Anyway, so go back to this. Jeremy Foley gets in the top row in the corner, and he goes, you got to be kidding me. You can't see the back 3 yards of the end zone from this top row. And probably the top 3 rows, if there's a winning touchdown in the back corner, Dwight Clark catch in the back corner of the end zone, nobody up here is going to see it. And he's like, you got to be kidding me. And they're like weeks away from dropping the flag on this thing, dropping the rope on this thing and calling it the stadium. So they get in a room and they're going, we got to fix it. We got to fix it. We got to fix it now. How can we fix it? Brainstorm. Do you know what they came up with?
I do
you have
not.
any idea?
I have no idea.
They moved Florida Field 3 yards from north to south.
Oh,
so
wow.
they can't do anything about this. Can't do anything about the seating. But what they could do is they had a little extra room in the south end zone, so they shifted the entire playing surface 3 yards south. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy. They're like, oh my God, we figured it out. Boom, bam. Now you go up to the top row, you can see. Here's what they didn't think about, right? Guess what happened to the guy who was sitting on the 50-yard line?
Oh, he's now sitting on the 47.
He's now on the 47. He's now on the 47. Jeremy Foley said, I've never gotten more hate mail in my life.
Wow. And that's why he never built another
angry.
facility the rest of his time on campus.
Was Billy Napier the construction foreman?
So angry. People were so angry. And they had to fix it the following year. Move some people back around. But the guy in the 47-yard line who had paid for 47-yard line seat, all of a sudden now has got a 50-yard line seat.
Yeah.
But they had not really, okay, that's great. We fixed it, blah, blah, blah. They didn't think it would matter, right? They knew what they were doing, but they really didn't think it was going to matter. Listen, you're on the 50, you're on the 50. No. The people who were on the 50 wanted to be on the 50. They didn't want to be on the 47. So, but I had no idea. I'd never heard that story in my life, that they moved Florida Field 3 yards south to accommodate someone's screw up in the north end zone project. So it goes to show you how, just how the details of these projects matter. And certainly Buffalo this week, under a microscope with these seats that are obstructed views or have people walking into your view, have railings in front of your view. I mean, people are paying big bucks for these seats. You better have it figured out that whether or not you're going to have any obstruction.
Hey, real quick on basketball, Florida announced this week they're playing Grand Canyon in Jacksonville December 18th on a Friday night. In your conversations with Todd Golden, how challenging was it to put together this puzzle piece of a schedule?
Yeah, he called it one of the toughest things he's ever done. They got a lot of no's. No, most teams said no. We don't want to come play you. We don't want to come to Florida and get our teeth kicked in by a team that's by all regards stacked. 82% of their offense coming back, potentially 3 all SEC guys in Condon, Houck, and Chenyolu. Just a physical, wear you down kind of team. And they're going to be preseason number 1. They're going to be the betting favorite. They are the betting favorite to win it all. This is a team that anything short of the Final Four, I think, would be a huge disappointment. And I think maybe even losing in the Final Four would be a disappointment. Yeah, I wonder if this team, how many losses will this team have? I mean, put the over-under on 4, and I might take the under on this team. So he's talked about, it was a challenge. They had to pay maybe a little bit more than usual to get people to come to Gainesville. You look at the schedule, it's, certainly it's got its highlights with Duke coming to the O-Dome, and the SEC schedule is going to be stacked with teams, but it is not a fantastic schedule. They go to FSU, they get Miami and Tampa to open this thing. But it is not a fantastic schedule, and you're going to end up with games like, Grand Canyon. Is it Grand Canyon? Yeah, Grand Canyon being played in Jacksonville. And there's another one in Orlando. I think Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
They get four ACC teams, that's kind of the heart and soul of the schedule when you talk about Miami, Florida State, Duke, and Georgia Tech.
Mark,
the non-conference anyway.
Mark, we'll get you out with this one. 30 seconds. Are they going to be okay on Aberdeen?
Still to be determined. I think the plan is if the NCAA wins this case, and then all these guys are just going to go local, get a temporary restraining order, and you hope that it push it down the road till after the season, and then it won't matter.
Okay. All right. Great stuff. Well, Mark, glad to hear that the recovery is continuing to progress, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully in the next week or so.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Mark Long of the Associated Press does an outstanding job. He'll be back soon, and we certainly are looking forward to that. When we come back on The Lead, we will give you the golden moment. You're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Lead from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It's full throttle on the straightaway.
3 wide for the lead. 1 lap to go.
This Saturday at Martinsville.
Checkered flag is in the air.
NASCAR is revved up by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 and 1010XL.
Picking here, or maybe you should call me Dreamfinders Danny. Look what Dreamfinders is doing again, an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down the rate and get in the game. You heard me right, a 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in-ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in-ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
This is Hayes Carlion for Harrell and Harrell. I don't just talk about Harrell and Harrell. My family has trusted them. Holt and I actually go way back. We went to school together. Over the years, I've recommended Harrell and Harrell to my own friends and family because I've seen firsthand how they treat their clients. It's what they call the Harrell Promise. You'll be treated like family, and they'll always work to make sure you take home more than they do. If you've been injured, call Harrell and Harrell at 251-1111.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. We're only a few more days out from Jags kicker Cam Little signing at Showtime this Sunday. Cam will be signing autographs for a limited time inside the store, 4:30 to 6 p.m. It'll be a fun time for all with Cam Little at Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update your collection.
Frank Frangie here for Bono's Pit Barbecue, and I've got 3 words for you. Ribs, ribs, ribs. Bono's Rib Platter are at a low price right now. Plus, you get 2 Southern sides and garlic toast with each platter. Plus, beat the summer heat with Lou's Lemonade and Strawberry Lemonade. Ice-cold Southern classic that's the perfect match for Jacksonville's favorite barbecue since 1949. To find the Bono's near you, head to bonosbarbecue.com. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. Head to Bono's today.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast orthopedic specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast orthopedic specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast orthopedic specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Jacksonville's been wonderful to Beards and my family.
Meet John and Van Lupo, first and second generation owners at Beards Diamonds.
We're always looking to make the shopping experience better for the consumer and grow with Jacksonville.
We're here to do whatever we can to make people happy. We want them to feel comfortable with their purchase.
Beards Diamonds, not another corporate chain jewelry store. A Jacksonville original with non-commissioned experts to guide you, educate you, and help you celebrate those milestones.
We get to be with people in the most important decisions in their life. So it's a wonderful feeling at the end of the day.
So if you're getting engaged, celebrating a special anniversary, or looking for that perfect gift, relax and enjoy the experience at Beards, knowing you are guaranteed the best price, the best value, the best warranties, and the best experience in the jewelry industry.
There's no competition that we can't compete with or beat.
Beards Diamonds, happy to be here for 45 years and counting. In the St. John's Town Center and online at beardsdiamonds.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's Golden Moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
The golden moment today was Kai Stevens joining us from New Orleans to talk Jaguars, and she expects to see a lot of Ventrell Miller and Branson Combs tomorrow against the Saints. So that'll be certainly a fun storyline to follow when the game kicks off at 4 o'clock, and that was our golden moment.
Now, Hackers Weekly High School Power Poll, flavored by Flame Broiler, Simply Healthy.
No.
Wait a minute.
It can't be him.
Business is about to pick up.
Are you kidding me?
Who? It can't
It's
be.
Hacker. By God.
Good God Almighty.
Hacker, what is up?
Gentlemen, share your enthusiasm about the opening night of high school football. How are you?
Here we go.
This is awesome.
We are fired up. Hacker, you've got a show coming up tonight. Tell us all about it. You've got a new high school preseason power poll out. Give us the rundown of what's going on here.
Yeah, kind of a cool thing for us. Now, the first week of the regular season for the FHSAA, that is the main body, that's where most of our teams locally are, will be next week. Tonight's a lot of the kickoff classics. But for the Sunshine State Athletic Association, West Nassau, Stanton, Paxton, Fernandina Beach, Christchurch, a handful of schools in our area, they actually do have regular season week number 1 tonight. Their games do count. They start a week before everybody else. And it's also cool for us, Hayes and Ryan, because this year is the 20th year, 20 seasons under the Friday Night Lights. 1010XL started in April of 2007, and we were on the air with the first Friday Night Lights show in August of 2007. So kind of a cool milestone for us, celebrating 2 decades this year under the Friday Night Lights.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Hey, Hack, you got a top 10 that you tweeted out. You got Reigns number 1, defending state champions, but a new quarterback. What, from what you've been hearing about how they're going along, what do you like about them?
And the thing about the top 10, Ryan, and you know this, in the preseason, it's kind of like an award for last year because you really don't know how things are going to transpire moving forward. There was one state champion in our area, and it was the Reigns Vikings, and an unbelievable victory last year in the final minutes to get that state championship. They did lose a lot. There was a lot of seniors that departed, but they still think they are a very good football team. In fact, according to Max Preps, coming into the year, they are the highest-ranked team in the city. I believe they're 14th in the state as we kick off the regular season next week. So Max Prep still believes in them despite all the seniors departing. Again, defending state champions. That's why I gave them the number one nod to begin the year.
Who are some other some players that you've got your eye on for this coming season?
Well, I mean, I think clearly you look at Edwards, the running back at Bowles. I mean, anytime you can put 500 yards of offense on a team, which he did last year. Mark Edwards' son, the former Jaguar, he's an incredible player. We know about Bryson Wright at Mandarin. Obviously, he's going to be a 5-star. Everybody on planet Earth is going to want him in their college program. There's always good players year in and year out, but those are clearly two of the best. But there's a bunch of others, and that's what's fun about these early weeks, week 1, week 2, before you really dive into district play. You get to see some of the best players in the area. And by the way, guys, some unbelievable matchups beginning next week. With the way the playoffs are now, strength of schedule matters. There was a time in high school football where you would start with, I guess, quote-unquote cupcakes like they do in college. Not so much anymore. Strength of schedule matters. Who you play matters. And there's a lot of really big games right out of the gate, which I love about the August and September portion of the schedule now.
Creekside 10, Trinity 9. If you had to go maybe a team off the radar a little bit that could really make a turnaround this year, anybody at the top of your mind?
Yeah, the one that I left out, and I've been hearing about it, and they actually had a really good performance last night, was Ed White. Ed White's a team that I think people are really excited about. They scored a ton of points last year. Their problem, Ryan, was they couldn't stop anybody towards the end of the year, and they just got outscored towards the end of the year, which is why they were eliminated in the playoffs. But Ed White is a team to keep your eye on. In fact, they went toe-to-toe with Nice last night. They had a kickoff classic one night ago, and I actually talked to Colin Drafts, the head coach of Nice, earlier today. I'm going to have him on the show this evening. Unbelievably complimentary of Ed White. He thinks they're going to do some nice things this year, and I think Ed White will be more of the maybe under the radar at the beginning of the year. They won't be under the radar towards the middle part of the season.
Well, that makes sense about Ed White being mad at you, because I did see a picture with a dartboard at the game last night that TV showed. So you're pissing people off right from the hop.
Yeah, well, that's always a good thing. It's good to be read and seen. So it's better than the alternative.
Hacker, great stuff. So give us an idea of what we can expect to hear tonight.
Yeah, so tonight's kind of our preseason special, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. A new co-host for me this year on the Friday Night Lights postgame. Trent Osborne is going to join me. Trent does a terrific job as part of our multimedia staff. He was on the color commentary for Bowles football the last couple of years. He's going to slide into the booth and be my co-host for Friday Night Lights. So I'm really looking forward to spending the year every Friday night with Trent, breaking down all the games. We got Justin Barney coming up tonight from Channel 4. Marty Lee, the AD over at First Coast, is going to join me. As I mentioned, Colin Drafts as well. It's a season kickoff as we kick off our 20th season under the Friday Night Lights, and we'll do it tonight from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock.
Fantastic, Hacker. Well, once again, congratulations. We'll be listening. That is a great team, and hope you have a wonderful season. We know you will.
So, fellas, have a great weekend.
Thanks, Hacker.
Right. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun tonight. 8 to 10 after Into the Night with Rick Ballou. When we come back on the lead, let's give some final thoughts about the Jaguars Saints game tomorrow. We will do that. You're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You're listening to The Lead from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care. Official dental partner of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
NFL preseason week number 1 begins tonight with 6 games on the schedule. The Los Angeles Rams are the betting favorite to win this year's Super Bowl. They are plus 500. They acquired defensive star Myles Garrett this offseason. The Buffalo Bills, the best bet out of the AFC. Buffalo plus 1,000 to win the Super Bowl. Seattle, they're the defending champions. They're plus 1,100 to repeat. Baltimore is at plus 1,200. The New England Patriots plus 1,700. They're the defending AFC champions. The Chargers are also plus 1,700. Buffalo quarterback Josh Allen, the betting favorite to win the MVP at plus 650.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keystoprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1010 XL.
Got a leaky faucet, a running toilet, a drain that's slowing down? If you've been meaning to call a plumber, now's the perfect time to call Duck Rooter. Schedule any plumbing service during August, and while our technician is already at your home, we'll include a free water heater inspection. It's just one more way we deliver the Duck standard. Honest recommendations, fair, upfront pricing, and no surprises. If you're calling a plumber anyway, why not get a little bit more while we're there? When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Imagine this. You and your buddies outside enjoying the warm weather. The grill is fired up, steaks are sizzling, drinks in hand, and you're all hanging out around your brand new outdoor kitchen. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can make it happen. From custom outdoor kitchens to fireplaces, fire pits, and more. They bring your backyard dreams to life. You dream it, they build it. Visit CSSFireplaces.com and make your backyard the place everyone wants to be this season.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys Locksmith Service.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Chevrolet is Northeast Florida's truck headquarters. And this month, save more than $15,000 on a new Silverado at Nimnik Chevrolet. 0% financing for 60 months is also available. And no payments for 90 days. With the largest selection of new Chevrolets in the region and the Nimnik Best Price Guarantee, why would you buy anywhere else? Visit NimnikChevy.com or head to the dealership. Great inventory, great prices, and low interest rates. Who really takes care of you? Nobody but Nimnik. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
At the First Coast YMCA, we believe finances should never be a barrier to belonging. That's why we offer Your Rate, an income-based membership designed to be affordable for every budget and accessible for your whole family, or even just you. Because the Y is more than a gym. It's the place where you find support for your wellness, where children grow in confidence, and families spend meaningful time together. No matter where you are, there's a place for you at the Y. Visit fcymca.org.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Ticket here. For nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools have been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools. Summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie. I've called Jacksonville home my entire life. Well, so have Chad and Sandy. So when we sat down and started talking about neighborhoods that I grew up in, I knew instantly these two are the real deal because they knew it. You need to sell now? Chad and Sandy have instant offers, fast, easy, stress-free. Need max price? Their science-based Market Max system is a proven, repeatable system guaranteed to sell your home for the maximum price. Ask Eric and Jason. After losing their parents, the brothers were left with a family home in Villa San Jose, 196 days on the market with another agent, going nowhere. So they called Chad and Sandy, and their home sold for full asking price in less than 27 days. Chad and Sandy are the local agents you can trust to sell your home. So call Chad and Sandy today. You can call them at 904-414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com. That's chadandsandy.com.
For the greenest, luscious lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
I got guns in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't go. I got guns in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't.
Welcome back to The Lead on 1010XL, 92.5 FM. Hayes Carline along with Ryan O'Halloran and JJ LaSelva. We're a few minutes away from Rick Ballou telling us what's coming up into the night. I'm interested in the quarterbacks. Carter Bradley. I don't think Mullins is going to play. I guess we'll see. But Carter Bradley has a chance, I think, to show off some things tomorrow. Aguilar will as well. But I'm excited to see what Carter Bradley can do.
Yeah, I am too, and he is. You don't get a lot of reps in this training camp as the third and fourth guy. I wrote about Carter a little bit tomorrow, and let's say Lawrence gets 4, Mullins gets 4. They each get 1, and the other guys get 1 apiece during that set. So I tell you what, though, Bradley can throw the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, his arm is impressive. It feels like last year he made a lot of strides in San Francisco working with Kyle Shanahan. And then it feels like he's seeing things more clear. Heck of an opportunity for him. I just don't see Aguilar being able to really win that. Mm-hmm. And then both guys will probably get waived and then Carter Bradley go on the practice squad.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that Liam Cohen has even remotely opened up Nick Mullins to a battle. I mean, like you said, like Trevor gets his reps, then Mullins gets his reps. And normally you're right, about the same. And then you see, okay, now we got to get the 2 young guys in for 1 or 2. So it certainly doesn't look like much of a competition, but I am excited to see how Carter Bradley performs. What are some guys that you think need to have big days tomorrow that we know are going to play and that maybe haven't had the greatest start for the first couple of weeks of training camp?
Yeah, I wrote down a couple here. Hunter Long at tight end, probably on the outside looking in, but Quentin Morris may not play. He was banged up this week. So that's one. We mentioned Jabbar Muhammad at corner. Corey Ballantyne's a veteran. He's made probably more plays than Muhammad has. So that's one. Yasir Abdullah at linebacker, probably on the outside looking in. But, if somebody gets hurt, can he make a spot for himself? Parker Hughes is a rookie. He's going to play a ton. And then, at receiver, I think they're pretty much set with those 5 guys, if you don't count Hunter. But if Austin Trammell has another great game, I don't think it changes his status, but maybe makes him more attractive to somebody else.
What about the running backs? We heard, Taylor was a guy that, we heard early that they liked. And obviously don't think Tootin Rodriguez, maybe even LaQuinn Allen doesn't play. Anything there at running back that you think somebody could have an impressive performance?
Yeah, I think the question for these running backs tomorrow is, are they going to keep 1 or 2 on the practice squad? Probably 1. And do they feel like they have enough veterans that makes Abdullah expendable? I think Amir Abdullah could be that guy that they cut after training camp. They don't sign the practice squad, but they say, stay in shape. We may need you in week 4. I think Jamari Taylor's still ticketed for that practice squad. They gave him a nice little guarantee to cover that practice squad salary. So I would, if I'm them, I would give Jamari Taylor a lot of carries.
And you referenced this player earlier in the show, but I want to see something out of Caleb Ransaw.
Yeah.
I mean, Jalen Husky as well, but I'm optimistic about what I've seen from Husky. Ransaw, I think, needs to have a quality performance tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's his first game in 2 years. That rust that maybe it has shown, but yeah, he needs to pick it up.
All right, great stuff. Let's do this.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Rick Ballou joining us now. Rick, this offensive line situation for the Jaguars is certainly very interesting going into tomorrow. How do you think Liam Cohen and his staff are going to handle it?
It's going to be really interesting because I think the majority of the snaps are going to be by guys who won't be here. I think you play Milam, you play Ed Olga, you play Monheim, you play players like that. But, if Emmanuel Pregnon hadn't been 100%, I can't see him going out there and playing. Obviously, the other 3 veterans aren't going to play, and you're going to rest your left tackle, left guard, and center starting. So you look for a bright spot or 2, but, it's honestly one of those deals where I think the hay's in the barn after yesterday, and you just try to get through a game there without getting anyone crushed. And maybe there's a bright spot. Maybe someone grabs their attention.
I mean, Liam said that earlier this week. Who's this year's Strigal Green?
Yeah.
I don't think there's really room for 2 of those guys. Maybe I don't think there's room for 1 undrafted guy on the roster right now, which is a good problem to have.
I tell you who it is. It's 2 guys who were here a year ago. It's Branson Combs and it's Jabari Muhammad.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 guys that they got last year who did not make the team initially. We know that Combs got brought up. Muhammad was on the practice squad. So I think there it is. I still think there's an outside chance with Taylor. But and I'm actually going to do my 53. I've yet to do one. I'm going to do it tonight. And I've been saying all along, keep 4 backs. But the more that I crunch these numbers, you just can't at this point. I mean, you feel good about the 3 that you have, but I just don't think you can afford to do it with the uncertainty, in the ditch, particularly on the offensive line. So I'm going to run through that. And again, this is obviously a rough draft. And what you hope is that you don't have more forced attrition, that guys make the team or they don't make the team. You don't want to see them all of a sudden land on the roster because you're placing more and more guys on the IR.
All right. Great stuff. We'll be listening.
Yeah,
thank you so much. All right. What you got coming up on Jacksonville.com?
Bunch of stuff real quick. Wesley Williams is in today's paper. Notes column tomorrow, led by Carter Bradley. He's good catching up with him. We ascertained I've known him since he was 12. And then just want to promo something next week. I'm doing a 4-part series on Faces of Football, non-Jaguars. So I was at Bulls yesterday talking to a couple of their players. I was at Baker County this morning talking to their coach, Jamie Rogers. So a little something non-Jaguars.
Very cool. We'll certainly look forward to that. That's going to do it for the lead. For a while, we won't have a Friday show for the next 2 Fridays. With Jaguars preseason games. And then when we come back, it'll be Baloo joining us. We'll go 4 to 7 with a new concoction. So the lead on hiatus, but it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll be back after the parade.
That's right. That's going to do it for us. We appreciate Kai Stevens, Mark Long, and Hacker joining us. For JJ LaSelva, for Ryan O'Halloran, I'm Hayes Carline. Have a wonderful night. Into the night with Rick Baloo up next on 1010XL 92.